Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of the Bunkered podcast in association with Callaway. I'm Michael McEwen. Thank you very much for tuning in. A slightly shorter version of the podcast today. One simple reason for that, we're just really, really busy. It's the 2nd of September. It's officially Ryder Cup month. But the work never stops for us. There's loads happening, loads to be done. There's another issue of the magazine to be made. There's videos to be edited. We're just really, really busy. So excuse us if this doesn't run to the usual length. Ordinarily, we might have just gone, nah, we won't do one this week. But one, we like talking to you lot. And two, we have to get into Luke Donald's Ryder Cup picks. We did it last week for the American side when Keegan Bradley named his players and rounded out his team. We obviously have to do the same for Luke because there is actually quite a bit to discuss around that and the 6 names that he's added to the side for bethpage. So yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But first of all, let me bring in these two fine-looking and intelligent and just generally awesome men to my left. Producer Dex is to my right as well, I should add.
He's pretty awesome.
He's more of those things than we are.
Performance editor Lewis Fraser, how are you doing? Are you well?
Very well, Michael. Thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Good.
Tell us about Trump Turnberry. We obviously discussed this briefly last week in the pod. You'd just been given the news that you were heading down there. So how was it? Did it live up to expectations?
Yeah, it surpassed expectations, to be honest. And I had very high expectations. Just an incredible place. I played the Ailsa course on Thursday. This was part of the sort of the publicity for the new changes that have been made. Yeah. So there's people on the trip who'd played it since like changes in 2016, and then people had played it before that and whatever else. But this is my first time playing it ever, and changes to the 7th and 8th holes, which you'd think they'd been there for 100 years. Like they're just sensational.
That's a good changes.
Wow. Which is a good thing.
That's a good sign.
7's an absolutely brilliant part. I could talk about every single hole, but I'll try and keep it to the
different
the
podcast. Maybe.
Yeah, different podcast.
I said it was going to be a short episode, Lewis. I mean, I can't backtrack.
People will be looking at the runtime at like 2.5 hours, thinking, "What short podcast? You sure?"
And now for the back nine.
Yeah. 7, beautiful par 5. Like you can try and cut the corner if you've got the wind at your back, or you could like play it out to the right if you're playing into the wind, which I imagine would just be an absolute brutal hole. And then 8, apparently, people were saying used to be like quite a sort of not a very well made hole, and that you'd always be off the fairway, like quite steep camber. But now it's just fantastic. Like you feel like you're in your own world playing it. Dunes like either side, and yeah, just a fantastic par 4.
And they bring the Seymour into play, those two new holes, don't they?
So on the 8th green, you get basically both greens, but 8 in particular, you get right beside the sea. And then what we didn't realize at the time, but realized in the 9th tee, is that there's a little path like back left off the 8th green,
right,
that takes you like basically over the water to the championship tee on 9, which is just sensational. Like we had a little wait in the 9th tee as people were losing balls and general stuff.
Not you, obviously.
No, of course not us. And I just stood in the 9th tee and just thought, this is absolutely sensational. There's not many better places you're going to have on like a golf course or anywhere in the world, to be honest. So yeah, really, really special place. And that was only just one of the courses.
That was one of them. You obviously stayed. I think you played King Robert the Bruce the next day as well. Your first experience of Turnberry overall. I mean, people have their own opinions about it. Some people love the golf courses. Everyone has their opinions on, of course, the owner of it. If we can separate, as we try our best to do on this podcast, if we can separate the politics and keep that for the politicians, as a golf experience, where does it rank for you, Turnberry?
Right up, like the top of any experiences I've had, and that's quite a high bar, especially in Scotland. Like I've always said to anyone, like Royal Dornoch's my favourite golf course, and that's probably at number 2 now.
Oh, right, okay,
I was thinking about this over the weekend.
Takes a lot to make a Highlander change his mind,
it does.
And there you go. It's just happened.
Something down this part of the world. The whole experience, incredible. Like the hotel is just a joke. Absolutely huge.
A good joke. A good joke.
Yeah, really, really good joke. Not like the jokes that we tell on this podcast.
It's a total joke. It's crap. No. You mean that in the sort of millennial sense of the word?
How good it is. I could not believe like the building itself, the quality of it. Clubhouse is brilliant, and then both golf courses presented in just such a good way. I played with someone, King Robert the Bruce, who said he played like it was his job to rank courses. He played like over 1,200 and said Ailsa's like in his top 3.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No,
So
that's
of
a
course it's
special
all around
thing,
the world.
of
So
course.
for me, yeah, it's number 1.
Good.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Could talk about it for hours. that
Please
one.
don't.
No.
No, it's genuinely, you're right. It's an absolutely incredible place. I love it. It's a special part of the world anyway for me and my family, but particularly that golf course. A lot of good memories on it.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to see the changes. I played it for the first time back in 2011, just before I got married, the day before. And a lot of changes since then. I've seen some of the changes, but I haven't yet seen the new 7th and 8th other than the picks. And it seems like one of those places that just keeps getting better. I would absolutely love it if we could find a way to get Turnberry back on the open rota, because as a golf destination, as a golf course, the Ailsa,
Mm-hmm.
it's right up there. I get the complications. I understand all of the reasons why. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. It's just an almighty shame, because that place, it's just, to use your word, Lewis, it's a joke. It's just absolutely
Yeah.
incredible. Anyway, you had a great couple of days. James Tate, gear editor. Well, judging by these shiny trophies in front of me, you had a couple of decent days as well. Another win on the European Long Drive Games circuit. And you finished the year as the European number 1.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad,
James
was it?
Tate, ladies and gentlemen, well done, that man.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Talk us through it
Well,
in an abbreviated sense.
It was, there was a pro-am on Friday, which was just basically something to do with the members of the golf club, which was fun. I actually won that.
Jesus Christ.
As well. I actually played pretty good golf. I think our team was scratch. We shot 60.
Oh, what?
Right.
And then we shot a net 54, which was outrageous.
Picked your amateur partner as well.
And I had one guy who played a 5, he just didn't miss a fairway, so that just allowed me just to rip driver the whole way around.
Perfect, that's what you want.
I did quite well with my Callaway Elite driver.
Yes, good plug for the sponsor.
There you go.
Excellent.
Right there.
There you go. And so that was that. And then obviously competition day on Saturday. And it was a little bit cool. It had a 20-mile-an-hour wind kind of off the left and a 30-yard wide grid to hit.
30 yards wide.
Which, when you're trying to hit
Massive.
a golf ball, when you're trying to hit a golf ball,
Lewis wouldn't be able to hit it from one side to the other like that. That's how wide that is.
That's
very good.
That's a roast,
Sorry.
isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah,
But
that's
very, very tough, especially when you're trying to hit it as long as possible. It's like trying to land a golf ball down an alleyway. So I actually struggled. So the format was a little bit different. It wasn't points. You basically take your longest drive and then you go through the rounds.
All right, okay.
I really struggled and was missing that grid literally a couple yards left, a couple yards right, making all the adjustments. So I ended up not making it into the winner's bracket in the first round, but into the loser's bracket, then hit a decent one in the loser's bracket, and then made it into the last chance, which was half the field from the winner's bracket, which then made up half the field from the loser's bracket, last chance. And then...
Are you following this, Lewis?
Yeah, just about.
Okay.
I heard it before we did
long
the podcast,
right,
so
okay.
it's my second time
And
hearing it.
then got through through the last chance, where they were just taking 3 of the top 3 from the 10 guys, which
Right.
then made that kind of the 5 winners from the winners bracket, which was the match play. So I ended up going up against Bry Roberts, and luckily decided to pull my finger out and figure out what I
Yeah,
was
you
doing
needed to.
wrong.
Bry's a big lad.
Yeah.
Big unit.
Bry
Roberts.
Roberts.
Hello, drive you, James.
But
Not sure what part of Calcutta he's from.
No,
North
no,
or the
neither am
south.
I. Neither am I. But,
Welsh accent, can't do it.
But Bry's a really good lad.
Nah, top man.
Great hitter as well. Has previously been European number 1 himself. So not a chump by any nature.
No, not at all.
But with my struggles, it was also my birthday that day too.
Indeed it was.
So a nice way to spend the birthday. Pulled out my birthday card from a nephew. He gave me a Paw Patrol card because he thought I needed stickers to put on my
Who was
golf.
on the front? Rubble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Big fan of Rubble.
Rubble is one of his favorite, but Marshall is the number 1. So I actually put the stickers wouldn't stick to my bag, so I put them on my shafts as a bit of good luck. And
That conforming?
yes, yes, it is.
Right. Did you check?
I checked, yeah.
Right, good.
And Marshall was on
Lead
my
stickers.
Ah,
Funny
okay.
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
lead
Aye.
sticker on the sole, and then had Marshall on the shaft as a bit of good luck. And then ended up going 406, 401 against Bry, winning the quarterfinal, and then went against Henry Woodman in the semi-final. Again, similar story, 402, 398. And then in the final, I was against Billy Truman, who was currently number one at the time because he had finished pretty much.
He was projected number one at the time you came up against each other. Right?
Yeah, because he was also number one in Europe for a brief spell because he had made every single final. I had won 2, but the way the points worked, it was a little bit like a tour championship kind of moment. And I'd not made it into like the final 8 in the previous competition, so that made me kind of drop down a little bit. So I was second. So I got to the final, and it was like the final is going to be the decider on who wins, like overall, as well
who
as
gets
the
all the marbles.
Yeah. So
you told me Fleetwood did him, didn't you? Essentially, he was Scotty Scheffler. You've just sneaked in the last.
But James had won several times before, though. So it's fine.
So I'd won 2. Billy hadn't won at all.
Oh, right, okay. So you Scotty Scheffler, him. You Tom Fleetwood, right? Yeah, understood.
So and then I ended up. I think I went 401 in the first set, and then I actually went OB in the second set, and then went in the third set 5 shots out of bounds.
I was watching.
The final shot, I just kind of said, because I thought he had one in. I didn't realize he didn't. And the final shot, I was like, right, come on. Like, all you need to do is pick your line, commit to it. And that's all you can ask yourself. I fucking roasted it.
How far?
3, I think it was 392 in the end. And that was it. Billy didn't get any in. And then it was like, as soon as I hit it, I knew it was good. Yeah. I just dropped my club and I was just like, come on.
So that got you one of these trophies. Now, for the benefit of people on YouTube, I'm looking here at the Bavarian Bash 2025 Champion Pro Division. That is stunning.
Yeah.
And this one here, this is the European #1 trophy. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a season winner. Yeah.
Right, okay.
And then I got...
then you've got this.
Yeah.
Now, again, for the benefit of people on YouTube and those listening, I'm holding up a little... I was going to say a little. This is a huge ring. This makes the one that Liv giveaway looks like it's like a toe ring by comparison. So let me see what's it saying on it. European Long Drive Games 2025 with what I suppose is meant to look like, what's that, an amethyst in the middle?
Let's go with that.
Yeah, okay. Now that fits on my pinky.
Yeah, it fits on my pinky.
That's bling, mate.
Yeah,
that is
champ on the side
it's
as well.
certainly something.
Yeah. So yeah, that's different. I've never seen something like that before. Neither have I, and I've never had one like that before. So yeah, I'm 1 ring down. Hopefully, can get a few more and then catch up Tom Brady.
No, congratulations, James.
Thank
honestly,
you very
I mean,
much.
not just for the win at the weekend, but for all your work over the course of the season. We've had a good laugh with it. You've done unbelievably well. Your commitment is unlike anything I've ever seen. The dedication to, come in, work full time. It's a demanding job. I mean, okay, we're not chipping away for coal, but there's a lot of work that has to be done. Yeah. And then for you to do all that to the standard that you do, and then go away and train at night, whether it's the gym or the range, as you said, the sacrifices that you've made, it's all paid off. So we're absolutely delighted for you. We're chuffed to bits. We're very proud of you, frankly. And now all eyes on Colorado later this month.
Yeah,
so
I know.
We'll talk more about that in a couple of weeks. I don't want to make your head explode thinking about it just now.
I'm already in that mindset though. Like I've had a couple of days off and I need to get ready because it's only a few weeks away.
Exactly.
So yeah, buzzing.
Trending nicely.
Trending,
as they say.
There we go.
Yeah, by comparison, guys, I didn't really do much this weekend.
How was your weekend?
Went to the Old Firm game. Was very bored.
Yeah.
Came home. That was it. So yeah,
that Old Firm game looked like
one of the worst games of football I've ever seen in my life. Truly, 2 abysmal teams. If I was Aberdeen, Hearts, Hibs, honestly, if I was Livingston, I'd be looking at this as a season where, we could split those 2.
Yeah.
They won't.
Just go above both of them.
Yeah. Why not? Leapfrog the pair. But honestly, truly awful. So I'm glad you guys had better weekends.
Yeah, we won't ask any more about the football.
No, let's not. Should we get on with some golf? Because
yes,
I said, I want to keep this to quite a short episode. So let's start with the big question.
The Bunkered Podcast, brought to you by the new Elite Driver from Callaway.
Yep, thank you, Callaway. Really appreciate your support, as does James. Exactly. So yeah, thanks, Callaway. So the big question this week, by the way, Lewis did the notes again. So this...
Sorry for any typos.
I've not read them, so this could be interesting. Has Luke Donald picked a winning Ryder Cup team, Lewis? Yes, he has. Next. that is the big question. Why have you posed that one? Are you in any doubt, Mr. Fraser?
Yeah, I'm in doubt.
Oh, okay.
I don't think.
Tell us more.
It's not because of the team he's picked. It's the team that I would have picked as well.
Okay.
But the main reason I have doubts is our record in the USA. I mean, we'll get onto like individual players in the team in a moment. But like big picture, right? You look at results that we've had over in the States and take 2012 out of the equation, which obviously, that happened brilliant. That Sunday was incredible. But out with that, we have really struggled over playing the Americans.
Apart from 2004 as well, when we absolutely battered them.
That's true. But, going back.
The point stands.
The point, over 20 years ago now, I think that's what worries me is this team going to go over there and turn over like a trend that's been going on for a long time now? And it would be if it wasn't for a miracle, this would really be a concern. So sorry to kind of be the bearer of bad news here, potentially. But
let's back up just a second, then let's look at the team that Europe is going to take over to Bethpage. So the 6 automatic qualifiers were Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood, Bob McIntyre, Justin Rose, Rasmus Højgaard, and Tyrrell Hatton. Luke Donald fleshed that out with 6 picks yesterday. The first of those was Shane Lowry. Then we had John Ram, Sepp Straka, Victor Hovland, Ludwig Åberg, and Matt Fitzpatrick. So 11 of the 12 that played last time. Actually, 11 and a half because we've swapped one Højgaard twin for the other. So it's as close to being... it's basically... Yeah, it's as close to being the same team as we had last time as it's possible to get without actually being the same team. I mean, it doesn't get much more close than that.
Yeah.
The experience was obviously the single biggest thing that Donald went with when he was picking his team. And there were obviously some guys that missed out, none of whom have played a Ryder Cup before, notably Matt Wallace, Marco Penge, and Harry Hall, I think would be the main ones of that. So that's the team. It looks fairly solid. But yeah, Lewis, the question was, has Luke picked a winning Ryder Cup team? So you have some doubts. James, how are you feeling about it all?
I mean, they won last time they all played together. I can't see them changing too much. But no, I think overall, you look at that list, and I know I was kind of humming and ahhing about kind of Harry Hall, but on paper, when you look at that is the best possible team you can take across there. I think they've all played together. They've all shared that success already in Rome. I think they're going to go over there as a unit with a little bit more camaraderie, I would say. They're going to be tighter. They're going to be literally have each other's back. Yeah, I don't think you can argue that team is the best team and has the best chance to, perform on American soil, I would say.
So let's look at the picks individually rather. Shane Lowry, I don't think there's a huge amount we need to say about that. That was fairly open and shut. A bit like Justin Thomas for the Americans. Shane was the next on the list. He finished 7th in qualifying. He was just budged out of it in the final round of the qualifying by Rasmus Højgaard. Otherwise, he was in. Shane brings a lot of passion, a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I mean, for vibes alone, I think he would be in, never mind the quality of his golf. So Shane, I don't think we need to add a huge amount.
He's not someone that you want to come up against in a singles match. You don't want to stand in the first tee and look over and see Shane Lowry there, do you?
And I think he'll be fine with the hostility of the crowd as well.
I think he loves it, to be honest.
Yeah,
and not that there's going to be anybody cheering on Europe, but the extent to which they root against them. Well, he's in a nice part of America, considering he's an Irishman, and Boston and Massachusetts isn't exactly a million miles away. The Eastern Seaboard, they like their Irish people there. So I don't think he will be targeted as viciously. Maybe I stand to be completely wrong, but I think he'll be all right with the crowds.
Yeah.
Whatever they throw at him, and I don't think it'll be as bad as other players.
No.
He'll deal with it.
Yep. Great.
John Ram, much the same boat as Shane. Any surprise that he got in?
No surprise at all. No, I think he'd have been like number 7 for me in terms of after the 6 picks. John Ram's an elite player. He's going to go over there, not be fazed by any of it. I think he could get quite a bit of grief from crowd, obviously playing over in Live, but he's again someone if he's your opponent in a singles match, you're going to look at him and think, shit. Like he could beat anyone in the US team.
Yeah,
I don't think you could say that about everyone in the Europeans, but Ram put him up against Scheffler, and you think he's got a really good chance to beat him. So feeling good about that one.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
Tyrrell Hatton's an obvious fit for him as well, isn't he? You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're teammates on Live, part of the Legion 13 lineup, and obviously like each other, and they're proven in the Ryder Cup together as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I'm not going
Went
to
out
say
in
that
the
they are
first
the
session
Seve and
last
Ollie
week.
of this generation, but give them time.
Yeah, why not?
Victor Hovland, same question. Surprised he's made it?
No, not at all.
No.
There was Hovland's a funny one because we've said this in the podcast a lot that you can, if one of us picks him for Pod of Merit, you think, well, he might win this week, but he also might finish last.
Yeah.
But natural talent, like for him, is just not a question at all. I think he's going to turn up to the Ryder Cup and put in a good show. I'm not worried about it.
I was a little bit concerned at the beginning of the year though, because he had those 3 kind of missed cuts, and you're just like, what's going on here? And then after the Players, he goes and wins the Valspar.
Exactly.
So I'm like, well, there's quite clearly he's either, you know what he's like, he seems to be changing the swing like left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
he's a tinkerer.
Come on, mate. But it looks like he's got that consistency back, which is why, you know, he's a no-brainer. He's just a class act. And I think what he did at Rome with Ludwig Oberg as well. Like, you absolutely annihilate the world number 1 and make him cry. Like, I think there's something in that you need to make sure you remind
talk
them
about
of what you've done.
camaraderie with Shane Lowry. Like, you watched the announcement yesterday with the call, and Hovland's like just sitting there like grinning his face off. Ludwig's talking about the 9 and 7 win, and Hovland's like sitting in the corner, thumbs up and everything. Camera's panning to him. So you wouldn't leave him off the team even if he was really struggling with his game, I think, because he's just seems like such a good influence on the rest of the players.
I would totally agree with that. And I do not think there is a single chance that anyone can get under his skin.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, he's too nice.
If the Americans start giving him, no matter the dog's abuse that the crowd gives him, he'll just smile and laugh it off, and they will have no plan B. It's like, I mean, what are we going to do now? That didn't work.
Let's cheer for him. Let's just turn it around.
His demeanor is just what you want in a Ryder Cup player, because he's unflappable. But much more than that, he is a guy who just looks happy to be there and then comes out and kills you.
Yep.
For me, he is the absolute perfect Ryder Cup golfer.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You just cannot. How you meant to prepare yourself to, get at this guy? You know he's going to play great golf, and you also know that gamesmanship just won't work on him.
Yeah,
no,
it just won't.
Yeah.
So, I'm delighted he's in there, and like you said, James, he's turned a little bit of a corner in form as well. Really, since probably, he had the win at Valspar and then disappeared again for a few months. It was really the US Open where his season's turned around again, finished 3rd there, and more recently he was tied 7th at the BMW and then 12th at the Tour Championship. He's not playing his absolute best golf, but I think he's still playing more than good enough to put points
Do you know
on
what
board.
it shows though? It just shows his mental toughness and resilience to trying to get himself back and get his game into some shape where he knows he can be a great contributor in the Ryder Cup.
Absolutely.
Just worked hard.
So we mentioned him a little bit there in the context of Hovland and that pumping of Scheffler and Koepka a couple of years ago.
Do it again, please.
Ludwig Oberg. He is pick number 4. I'm not even remotely surprised. You know what? I wasn't even surprised 2 years ago when he got in, having been a pro for 3 months. So I'm hardly going to be surprised now.
Yeah.
Not the best season. Once he won was it the Genesis?
Yeah.
It's not been an amazing season. I expected him to go on a bit of a tear. I certainly expected more from him in the majors than we got. But I look at Ludwig and I just think there's a guy who, it's a small sample size so far, but it's been a poor season by his standards.
Yeah, I would agree
with
a
win. He's had a poor season.
I win a huge event.
And won.
Yeah.
The Genesis, wasn't it?
I just think that he is destined for the absolute top. And if this is as low as his bar gets, then watch out.
Yeah. It's not like we're panicking that he's playing rubbish. Like, the only reason that we're saying he's had a disappointing season is because the expectations for Ludwig Oberg are so high. Like, as Donald said yesterday, he's nearly won the Masters twice.
Yeah.
And
I know, that's outrageous.
He's not turned pro that long ago. So no concerns about him going over there. Like, really good driver of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I say no concerns. Like maybe the only slight thing is like around the greens. He's kind of struggled this year, and that's what's let him down. And you've watched him sometimes just looked a little bit off, like with approach play slightly. But the good thing is, like, guys have got 3 weeks now to basically prepare for this event.
Yeah.
And I'm not expecting to see Aubert over there struggling. He's too good to have any issues like that. So happy to see him on the team. And again,
Yeah,
great
100%.
guy. Clearly, everyone really
Mhm.
looks up to, and a great person for Hovland to have the
Mental
Yeah.
fortitude as well,
Yeah.
James.
Oh,
He
yeah.
just has that in abundance, doesn't he?
Yeah, like it's really interesting watching him play because he looks like he's just, even when he's playing bad, he's just smiling the whole time.
Mm.
Like his mental
Demeanor's unreal.
approach is unbelievable. It's like nothing will phase him. That's why I think in America, he's just going to be smiling the whole time,
Yeah.
lapping it up. Americans aren't going to get under his skin, and he's just going to be I think I could see him being one of the standouts, I think, in this team this year.
Yeah, I would agree. So 4 absolute stick-ons, no concerns, no
None.
surprises, just certainties.
Mhm.
Yes.
Is it fair to say that the final 2 picks were maybe a little bit more contentious, starting with Sepp Straka? Now, on the plus side, he's won multiple times in the PGA Tour this season. I think, from memory, Rory McIlroy is the only other European to have done so. However, those both came early in the season, and of late, we haven't seen a huge amount of Sepp Straka simply because he's been dealing with this somewhat mysterious issue in his personal life. And it's not for us or anyone else to pry as to what that might be, but it has clearly impacted his form, not just his form, his availability to play in tournaments.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a huge amount of him. At the moment, I don't even think he's listed and is the only one of the 12 in the European team not listed to play Wentworth next week. So, Lewis, is there a concern over Seppin so much as he might be going into the Ryder Cup a little bit undercooked?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a concern there. I was really relieved when we saw him yesterday in the announcements because he's one of the most talented players in that team.
Yeah.
But there is a concern there because he played the Tour Championship and he was last, like by quite a few shots. And you do worry that sort in 2023 with the Americans came into this match and they all said afterwards that they hadn't played enough competitive golf and we're not quite as
Correct,
sharp
yeah.
as you'd want to be.
Yeah.
And you do just worry if Straka's going into this having not really played or been in contention for a long time, is that gonna have a negative impact on him? So I'm glad that he's on the team because I think he is one of the most talented there. But yeah, I have concerns about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going in with not an amazing record in the Ryder Cup,
No.
James, either. You know, played 3 matches on his debut in Rome, 1 point. So
Yeah.
that's got to be a little bit of a concern. Is there any risk, as far as you're concerned, that, or any danger that Sepp Straka might not make it to Bethpage? Might he withdraw himself from consideration if he's not at his best?
Jeez,
Can't afford passengers, can we?
No, but I didn't even think that was going to be an option. If I'm really honest, I never even thought of that. But
He could do the sort of, take one for the team.
take one for the team. I mean, look, I know he finished dead last, obviously, in the Tour Championship. If you look at his actual rounds, though, he was, I think, 1 over for the first round, then shot 65. Like, there is an insanely good golfer in there. We know that. We know what he's capable of. He's missed cuts. He's come back. He's almost won tournaments like the following week. Like, there's no doubt about his talent, but I think it just there might be just that kind of outlined thing where whatever's going on in his personal life maybe just kind of clouding his head a little bit. And if that is the case and he's not 100% present, which I don't think is going to be the case, but let's play devil's advocate and say it is. If I was on that team and knew that I wasn't going to be able to give my 100% all, then I would be looking like to Luke Donald and be like,
Yeah, self-sacrifice.
I don't think this is right for me right now with what's going on.
Because Lewis, 2 years ago, Sepp obviously played singles. They all do.
Yeah.
But his only contributions in the pair side of it was to partner with Shane Lowry in the foursomes. So he didn't appear in the 4 balls. He was going into it in a totally different headspace, though.
Yep.
And where he's at, I'm not sure. Can you have total confidence in trying to get him to play somebody else's ball in every other shot? 'Cause it's hard to get a rhythm going.
Yep.
I guess what I'm saying is, with what we know about Straka and where he is, where his game's at, you want him on his own ball. You want him out there in
Completely
four
agree.
balls, but he's not been in this format playing four balls before. Equally, where you partner him with Shane Lowry, well, Shane's not necessarily in the best form.
Yeah.
So you've got two guys who, delivered only, was it 1 point last time around? Yeah, only the 1 point, lost their other match fairly convincingly to Max Homa and Brian Harmon.
Yep.
Big question mark over those as a pairing.
Yeah.
So what do you do with Sepp Straka?
This is the thing. I think you play him in four balls on his own ball because, like you say, foursomes are really difficult format, especially if you don't quite have your games. You just can't get into a rhythm. You're playing someone else's ball as well. That's something Luke Donald mentioned, that I have to think about the golf balls players are playing and matching people up and whatever else. I think out of the alternate shot pairings that went out in Rome for the first session, that's probably the one that you split up, because you're right, Shane's not having the best season by his standards. I don't know who you put Straka with in four balls. Do you maybe pair him with someone, McIntyre possibly?
Perhaps they get on.
Yeah, they get on really well. Two kind of similar players, and they both drive it really good, which is what you want around there.
Yeah.
Does he get
It's a
Justin
tricky one.
Rose, someone who's a really good teammate, a good cheerleader? We saw how he, no offense, Bob, but how he carried Bob McIntyre
Took
those
him
first
under his
couple of
wing,
days.
didn't he?
Yeah. To be honest, if I was we're getting into like pairings here, but I would probably put Rose with Rasmus Højgaard.
Yeah.
Similar sort of thing.
that's a good
Good
point.
with the sort of the old head of the team. Not that that's a bad thing for Justin Rose. I think he's going to be one of the standouts here. But yeah, we just don't know with Sepp Straka at the moment. I really hope that, for talking about whether he's going to play, I'm sure Luke will have had this conversation with him and he's going to be fine to tee it up. And if that means only playing 2 or 3 sessions, that's absolutely fine. Ryder Cup's going to be won or lost by people who are playing 4 or 5 sessions, in my opinion. So I'm glad that he's on the team, because I think he's a brilliant golfer.
Yeah.
And he can bring a lot to it. Clearly a very well-liked member of it too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you know what? I think the most important thing is that, and again, I'm not going to speculate. We don't know anything about what's going on other than he's been dealing with some personal issues. Just hope he's all right.
Yeah.
Hope that whatever these personal issues are, that they can get resolved, and that he is able to come back fully to golf when he's ready and when he's feeling like he can contribute. If that's the Ryder Cup, so be it, and we'll wish him all the best. The last pick, Matt Fitzpatrick. Now, I suppose he's maybe the most contentious of the lot. Luke Donald did ask him, or challenge him rather, to play the final 2 events before the picks on the European Tour schedule. He obviously played in Switzerland there weekend and did exceptionally well. He got into the final group in both of those final 2 events. So he did everything that his captain asked of him. James, you're Luke Donald. Sunday night, you're maybe ruminating on it a little bit. What swung it in Matt Fitzpatrick's favour?
I think you just kind of look at his last 8 tournaments. I think that's it. 6 top 10s out of the last 8. Pretty solid. I don't think there's a shadow of a doubt. He's obviously got experience in the Ryder Cup as well. To me, it makes the most sense. He's played in America, major champion. Everything just adds up, and the dots kind of join themselves. But there was 1 point where I thought Matt Fitzpatrick maybe wasn't wasn't quite there, but those last 2 events that he's played in, he's definitely earned his spot with that. Does make you feel for some of the guys that kind of missed out, though, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Do you worry about his record?
Massively.
Yeah.
Massively. I mean, let's not forget, going into the last Ryder Cup, he'd played 2 previously and hadn't really contributed at all. You know, then I think people maybe forget the extent to which he contributed in Rome. 3 matches, 1 point, same as Straka.
And that was playing with Rory.
Rory. Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking there at, his singles match. He lost 1-up to an inspired Max Homa, it must be said. Yeah, I worry about his record. I worry about the sort of mental scar tissue that will be lingering. He has struggled in this arena so far, which surprises me because he's done everything else. The guy's won the US Amateur, he's won the US Open, he's won both sides of the Atlantic. He is a tough individual, a proper little bulldog. But It's just, the record, and had he played well all season, then you'd be like, yeah, fine. But he hasn't played well all season. He's brought it when it's mattered most, when the picks are on the line. But you flip his year around,
Yeah,
he's nowhere near that team.
You're right.
He's nowhere near a pick.
if you were to flip it from, say, the Scottish Open and go the other way, you'd think, you're just leaving him off this year and picking someone like a Penge or a Hall who's playing really well.
So he's almost getting in because he's been there before.
Yeah.
To whatever extent that matters when your record's as poor as it is, but he has been there before. He knows what to expect. But he's getting in because I think Luke Donald is hoping that this hot streak that he's on extends beyond September.
Yeah.
That seems to be it.
I agree.
I think he's a risk.
I think he's a risk, but I also think anyone else you'd have picked over him would be a bigger risk.
Absolutely.
In my eyes. Like, Marco Penge would have been a huge risk. Someone who's not really played that much in that environment. Harry Hall would have been a risk as well, because we haven't really seen him in contention.
Yeah.
Certainly not in a US Open like we have with Fitzpatrick or US Amateur, let's say, a match play event.
He's just very steady.
He's very steady. And I get the record, but you look at that, like, he'd lost 2 singles matches, like 1 down, the last 2 Ryder Cups that he's played. If those matches flip and your opponent hits it out of bounds both times, like in 17 and 18,
different story,
and you win 2 singles, you're thinking, oh, brilliant, we've got
But
to take
they
him.
didn't.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
They didn't. But match play's fickle in that way, in that you can play, we could go out and I could shoot 10 over and James could shoot 11 over, and I think, oh, brilliant, I've beaten him. But I could shoot.
Yeah, I know,
5
I know the
under,
point you're making. It's a bit like, people point to Stephen Gallagher's performance in, at Glen Eagles in 2014. Didn't put a point on the board on a winning team. What they neglect to mention is the fact that you had Ian Poulter, who should have probably contributed more in that opening morning than he did. Then he didn't appear again until Sunday, when he came up against Phil Mickelson, who basically set a new course record, with his performance. So sometimes you just run into a train.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, Matt Fitzpatrick's now been there 3 times and hasn't really impressed. So why would this time be any different? And this is going to be a bear pit. I mean, he is going to be singled out by that crowd. I know he's probably been used to, some unsavory stuff being said to him, particularly when he was coming down the stretch for the US Open in 2022 rather. But this is going to be a whole other level. And you know what? Let me put it this way. If I'm the American Ultras,
The Ultras.
if I am the Star Spangled Banner Brigade, then we're sitting down, having our meeting, creating our tifos, looking at balaclavas, and we're going, who are we going to target? It's Matt Fitzpatrick all day long.
That is a good
He's
point.
the easiest target.
Yeah.
So
I would have picked Matt Wallace.
You would have picked Matt Wallace for the team?
I think so.
Okay. So now we're moving on to...
No,
we move on.
I
just have players who should have made the team. Why?
I just think he's obviously, he's won in the States as well. I think when you look at Fitzpatrick's kind of like track record, it's not great. Out of everyone on that team, if you were going to take a punt at someone, I would have said, well, it would have been Matt Wallace or Marco Penge personally.
So you said Wallace at the outset, so why?
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the winning in America, what else convinces you?
I think what kind of convinced me and won me over was his emotion and his kind of exit, his kind of interview after that round.
Lewis and I are shaking our heads.
But
Carry on.
Yeah, but I just think it just shows you how much it actually means to him, and I just think you just want that passion in the Ryder Cup.
Yes and no. It means that to all of them.
Yeah.
But they're not all being interviewed after a near miss in a tournament, when you're there to win the tournament first and foremost. He had a costly bogey late in his round. Now, I know he bounced back with the birdies, immediately, but at that stage in the round, at that stage in the tournament, that stage in Ryder Cup conversations, you can't afford mistakes, and he'll have known what that mistake meant. So I think there's emotion from not winning the tournament, but every single player wants it badly.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me that Matt Wallace wants it more than Marco Penge or Nicolai Højgaard or even Harry Hall.
Yeah.
They all want to be there. I really salute Matt Wallace for being that vulnerable and being willing to be that vulnerable, and to be as exposed with his emotions as he was. I think that's commendable. I think it speaks a lot to his character and how he's changed and matured a bit over the years. But my other thought on that is it too much emotion? Can you afford to have somebody on your team in an away match in that particularly excessively hostile environment who is going to be saddled by that level of emotion? You need someone who's got a bit more of an even keel to them, Lewis, do you not?
Yeah, completely. And you do need someone who's got an even keel. That's why we were talking about Cam Young, like in the American team, and you guys were rightly saying he's a rain cloud and whatever. But I don't think that's a bad thing in this environment. You're going to have people.
You can't be
like,
too affected by the.
You're talking about like the American ultras targeting Matt Fitzpatrick. If Matt Wallace had got in, like with the emotion that we know he's shown, and I don't think that's a bad thing, but he'd have been targeted by American fans as well because he's a rookie going over there or whatever else. So
the Ryder Cup's an environment where you have to play your opponent first.
Yeah.
The course a close second. You cannot afford to leave any room to play the occasion.
Yeah.
And that was my worry seeing Matt Wallace. I thought, does it just mean far too much to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. That can overwhelm you.
Yeah.
On the occasion. Yeah, exactly that. And besides anything else, I don't think he's played well enough this year, and he probably knows that. He's put everything into trying to get into this team, and you look at his scores down the year, like he's not contended in majors as far as I'm aware. He's just not been there, and he doesn't have the body of work like someone like Fitzpatrick, who's a major winner and has done so well for so many years now and been right up there. To look past like the struggles that Wallace has had this season and say, we'll put him on the team. So
when you're contending for a pick with guys who have won majors, who have been world number one, who have won on the PGA Tour this year, you need to do something extra special. And unfortunately for Matt, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
And that's no slight on him. That's not meant to sound like shade. It's not.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought the way that he responded to missing out on social media yesterday was absolute class. And that'll stand him hopefully in decent stead. It's a small thing. It's an important thing. You know, there have been much more accomplished players than Matt Wallace who've missed out on a pick and haven't received that news with maturity and the perspective that he did. He said, big congratulations and best of luck to Europe's Ryder Cup team heading for Bethpage. I'll be watching and supporting and know the boys can bring the trophy home. For me now, this chapter closes. A new one is just around the corner. I feel my game has been in good shape over the last few months. I put so much into this campaign and I made getting to Bethpage, of course I know well, my goal. Ultimately, it wasn't to be. Look, good on him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely good on him.
Good on him. And that's an attitude that everyone trying to get to the Ryder Cup should have. So, I'm sure it'd been a difficult phone call for Luke Donald. But at the same time, I think Wallace will know deep down that's why we had that interview from him.
He needs to reset now, focusing Adair Manor 2027.
Yeah.
But I hear you, James. I mean, you know, I think there's definitely a compelling case to be made for having had him on the team.
Yeah.
But for me,
you're not the only person who said that as well. A lot of people on social media saying that they would have picked Wallace, and I think that's probably going with your heart over your head.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's exactly what it is. Like, like you can just see the heart that he has, and like it's always. I mean, I think it's the second time Matt Wallace has cried on camera. When he
take your word for it.
Yeah,
I think when he
not keeping count.
No, well, he missed a cut after the Scottish Open a couple of years ago, and they did that kind of
the green room.
Oh yeah,
and he got really emotional about
I think it's called the green room
because I think he missed
the diary room,
something like that.
But yeah, I think and also having spent a little bit of time with him at the Scottish Open on the range, like he's a great guy. He's very passionate, and I think you can see that, and you can see what it means to him. But yeah, my heart's really wanted him to be a part of it.
If his time comes and it's on home soil and he makes it on his own steam in 2027 at Adair, he'll light the place up. I have no question. He'll do what Shane Lowry's done. He'll bring that fire and that energy and that passion, and he'll put points on the board.
Yeah.
But to make a case for a pick,
you can't
in New York.
Yeah, you can't ignore the results that he's going to put this year, which unfortunately is, a big part of it when you're going up against a major champion who's, had a pretty good run in the last kind of couple months as well. It's hard to do that. Marco Penge is obviously another case, but it's probably just come into form a little bit too late.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think Harry Hall's probably in the same boat.
Yeah.
For me, Wallace was probably the 13th man
Yeah.
in this instance. And then after that, it's getting up for debate, who's 14, 15, 16. I actually would imagine that Nikolai Højgaard was more in the conversation than people might think, purely because he's been there before and they're obviously banking on experience.
Yeah.
He showed up very well as a rookie a couple of years ago. Well, quite well as a rookie a couple of years ago, but has got that experience. He's obviously a perfect foil for his brother. You take the pair of them strokes gained spider webs, place them on top of each other, and you wouldn't see
They're
the
identical
difference.
in every way, aren't
Yeah,
they? It's remarkable.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Nikolai possibly, he performed pretty well in August. I think he was 16th on the point standings. So I think he would have been closer to the conversation than maybe somebody like Marco Penge or Harry Hall.
I'm pretty sure Nikolai would have had a phone call, I think.
That's a good point. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mentioned it.
How many phone calls do you think he made turning players down?
Point. Like, probably Penge, Wallace, Harry Hall, Nikolai Højgaard.
Anybody else?
Maybe Alex Noren?
I mean, he's just got the call to be a vice captain, so that was
probably his
2
call.
and 1 in that. Sorry, you're not playing, but do you still want to come and be vice captain?
Do you reckon he would have given Aaron Rye a call or not? Or do you think he would have just probably accepted that? It was just too
send
far
him a
away.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, send him a WhatsApp.
There's layers to this. There's phone calls, WhatsApps, emails.
Do you reckon email is above WhatsApp in this chain?
I don't.
Right,
I reckon there's only 2 methods.
CC.
Yeah.
You know when you get added to a WhatsApp group and it's like you've been added to 2025, not going to the Ryder Cup. Sorry.
Oh, tough one. Left on red.
Like Greg in Succession, where he's reading out the redundancy.
And all the emails
very sorry to say that you have been unsuccessful on this occasion. Yeah, listen, we've got a very strong 12.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best 12.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Who are you expecting of that to stand out? And are there any dark horses?
Justin Rose.
Yeah, I was going to say
me.
Standout or dark horse or both?
Both.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
Double-edged
like
sword.
such a good record.
Can you call him a dark horse?
I
His
mean,
record's that good?
Who else in the team could be like a dark?
I don't know.
horse
You
then?
wrote the notes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Shit.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. I was just hoping James would have someone else. Like, I don't know, who? Matt Wallace. Justin Rose, is the determination that he seems to have shown in the last few years in any event. Like, it's just about winning for him now.
Yeah.
He's done pretty much everything there is to do. He's won majors. He's won so many times the PGA Tour now. I do not think that anything phases him, because at the end of the day, like, if he goes out and gets beat, it's not going to define who he is. It's not like someone like Fitzpatrick might have a bad record on his back. So I'm expecting Rose to go out, play 3 or 4 sessions and get a good haul of points from them.
The obvious dark horse is Rasmus, because he's the only rookie on the team.
Yeah.
I don't know to what extent he'll be used. I would suspect, just given, again, how his game so closely matches his brother, I would suspect that he'll play alongside John Ram at some point, like Nikolai did a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it might just be once, depending on how they get on and how the match is shaping up. But it feels like on game alone, and that whole thing of partnering experience with inexperience, John Ram's the guy for Rasmus.
Yeah.
But
in 4 balls, I would say.
Yeah.
Because he's a bit wild.
Yeah, well, he is, absolutely. Let him go out there, play his own ball, get used to the environment, watch the morning, get down there on the first tee and see it all, get a sense of it, get a sense of the hostility, and then go out Friday afternoon with John Ram and put a point on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems very easy when you say it like that.
So easy.
Yeah.
I should
just
be
do
captain.
that. Yeah. Vice captain, why not?
Vice captain, get in there. I think a dark horse for me, actually, the more and more we've kind of spoken about him this morning, I reckon Fitzpatrick can turn his playing record around.
Is he a dark horse purely because of his record? And it's like, well, expectations low, and if he exceeds the expectations, then that makes him a dark horse.
I think there's probably a little bit of that, and I think he might be coming in, especially as the 12th man. Having someone like a Matt Fitzpatrick could actually be quite a big sting.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You said Matt's. You said Matt Fitzpatrick.
Matt's
German.
I've been in Germany too long, lads. Matt Fitzpatrick.
No, Matt Fitzpatrick.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Just
Thank
Matthew.
you. Matt.
Yeah.
Fitz.
Matt Fitz.
Matt Fitz. Yeah, I think him in that kind of 12th man spot, that's a big sting in the tail. So I reckon he could really come out and actually surprise a lot of people just with his kind of obviously current record.
Yeah.
There's a possibility, especially he looks like he's coming into a bit of like solid form as
Well,
well. Which
he'll
is
either
good timing.
he'll do one of two things. He'll either surprise us and put points on the
The
board,
two what we're
or
expecting.
do what we have become accustomed to,
Okay.
and not put points on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we do think it's a strong 12. There's only been one grumble I've really seen so far, and that was a relative grumble from Pablo Larrazabal, who obviously he's won 9 times on the DP World Tour. He's never played in the Ryder Cup. And on social media, he perhaps expanded on some of the reasons for that. He said, Ryder Cup, Europe, again, team will go with what Captain Luke thinks is the best team. 0 players that play European Tour schedule, so what's the point? Marco Penge deserved a pick and Wallace deserved a pick, but only 12 men play. Good luck in New Jersey. It's New York, Pablo.
Close enough.
Close. Yeah, really
just
close.
shows you how stupid that comment is.
Do you think it is? I mean, obviously, I think he's got a point because, that's a very PGA Tour centric and Live centric team that we've got. Is the DP World Tour being left behind by the Ryder Cup a little bit?
No.
DP World Tour players being left behind? No.
I don't think so. It's like you've taken your 12 strongest guys who play at the top and with the best players on the PGA Tour. Why would you? Okay. There maybe is like a little bit of argument for obviously that 12th man kind of spot, but at the same time, you're taking the best possible 12 players you can to an incredibly hostile like environment. You want them to have that little bit of experience and that little bit between their teeth. I think if you're there could be a little bit of an argument where maybe the guys who are in that 12 need to come and play more European Tour events.
Well,
but,
yeah.
But
I think that's what he's getting
is
at. That would be my guess, because if you look at the top 10 on the European Race to Dubai rankings right now, Rory's first, Tyrrell Hatton's 5th. Tyrrell Hatton, who plays on Live, is 5th.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And then you've got Bob McIntyre in 10th. None of those 3, of the top 10, those are the 3 that are on the Ryder Cup team. Of those players, not one has played more than 7 times on the DP World Tour this season, and that's Bob McIntyre. 4 of those will have been majors.
Yeah.
So then you look at the other 7. Second, Marco Penge. Third, Christopher Wrighton. Haotong Lee's obviously ineligible. John Parry, 6th. Laurie Cantor, 7th. Jordan Smith, 8th. Martin Couvra from France, 9th. None of them had a sniff, but they've played 20 events, 24 events, 24 events, 14 events, 21 events, 20 events. These are the guys that are shown in the biggest of inverted commas, most loyalty to the DP World Tour.
Yeah.
And you would think that they should in some way be rewarded for that loyalty with a place in the European team. That's not the case.
Sadly, it's just not how it works
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
I think this is maybe what Pablo's getting at, in that back sort of 30 years ago, it did have a feel of European Tour against PGA Tour because they were sort of not level playing fields, level in terms of the ability that was on that tour.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the way that the ecosystem is now, I hate using that word, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
The way that it works is that the 10 best players on the DP World Tour are going to the PGA
That's
Tour.
it. Yeah.
So someone like Rasmus Højgaard has had a brilliant year in the DP World Tour, gone to the PGA Tour, and he's got picked off that. The names that you're listing there, like Christopher Wrighton, Martin Couvra, all fantastic golfers, but putting them in the team over someone like Fitzpatrick is going to weaken it, unfortunately.
I do agree with that. And I've always said that the Ryder Cup should be about Europe versus America, not the European Tour versus the PGA Tour. I mean, that's just as clear as day to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys that I've mentioned, they will get their chance to make a case for a Dare Manor next year because they'll go to the PGA Tour. They've all got PGA Tour cards as it stands right now. They'll graduate, if you want, to the PGA Tour. Then it's about taking the chance, like Bob McIntyre did, and staking a claim.
You're going to sink or swim, basically, and
But-
stand out.
What it does do is undermine the value of a DP World Tour card.
Yeah.
Because it's a long old journey now from playing on the DP World Tour to get into the Ryder Cup team. That is absolutely irrefutable.
Mhm.
It's almost as far away now as the Challenge Tour used to be.
Yeah, I get the point you're making,
Yeah, I
but
can
someone
see
like Marco Penge, who's got a DP World Tour card, if he'd had a better year this year, he could have made it. There's nothing stopping him there. If he goes and maybe wins the Scottish Open or has an incredibly, Luke touched on it a few weeks back, that if he was to win the last 3 events before the picks were
Mhm.
made, then it would have made it really difficult for him. So
Yeah,
it's a real,
but the
it
thing
makes
is,
it really tough. But I
Even
don't
having a
think it
full
completely
European Tour
stops
card
him.
now doesn't get you all the opportunities that it used to. I
No,
mean, you've got guys
yeah,
with
that's
full European Tour status that can't get into Wentworth.
Yep.
That's
wa-
mental.
That is
wild.
that just
I
shouldn't
completely
happen.
agree. That's
No.
stupid. Yeah.
And because of the co-sanction, there will be guys that didn't get into the Scottish Open field. You're talking about players taking opportunities when they come. Yeah, but those opportunities are getting fewer and fewer.
Yeah.
The game is shrinking around the big events and the big
Yeah.
players.
Mhm.
And that's where the rewards are. So, listen, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that I would make the case for Christopher Wrighton or John Parry or Laurie Cantor or Jordan Smith or Martin Couvra over a Matt Fitzpatrick or a Shane Lowry. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that when Pablo says, what's the point?
Yeah.
He's definitely got a point.
No,
Yeah.
I'll take that. Well, unfortunately, it's not going to happen this year for
No.
Pablo
It's
No.
not.
or for
No.
any of the guys that he's mentioned. I did like that. If he mentioned if you want experience in the Ryder Cup, why are you not taking Miguel Angel Jimenez that won 4 times this year and is not going to miss a shot? Thoughts on that, James? Jimenez, good for the team room.
Is he?
I think
Probably not.
I think Pablo's gone a little bit left field with that
Tongue-
one. To be
A
tongue's
honest.
little
mega
left field. Do you
itchy.
think he got a call, Miguel?
And maybe for Vice.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, he could have been a vice captain and he's not.
Yeah.
It's not that ridiculous a suggestion, though. I mean,
no, for
because-
a vice captain, it's not.
I mean,
Harrington.
even the idea of because you're older and if I'm looking for experience.
Imagine that.
Bear in mind, 2 years ago, there was a big case being made for Podrick Harrington being
There
on
was.
that team.
Imagine Harrington and Miguel just coming in the back.
What it does
Horrible.
is demonstrates that there should be a senior Ryder Cup. I will die on the hill.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I know there was this thing called the UPS or UBS Cup years ago. It was purely
I'd watch
executed.
that.
Damn
That'd
right.
be amazing.
Damn right. Imagine who-
Monty.
I don't know who the captains would be. but
Monty every year is the captain,
Yeah.
playing captain. I
Right.
don't care.
It'd be
I'm
so
not
good.
watching it if it's not him.
Right.
Like-
guys.
Jimenez, Monty, Clark against people like Fred Couples,
Mhm.
Jim Furyk, Tiger next year.
Yeah,
I-
Phil
Wow,
and
yeah.
Tiger to try and see if they can
Hal
resurrect
Sutton's
things
captain.
there.
Yeah, Hal
Yeah,
Sutton.
maybe.
But you know what, guys? I've got this idea.
Yeah.
Phil, Tiger, no.
Yeah, no.
I would
like
watch a
it.
senior Ryder Cup without a shadow of a doubt. But
Make it happen.
we'll just have to make do with the actual Ryder Cup
Yeah.
in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
We will be talking loads more about this match
Yeah.
over the next few weeks because, well, that's where all eyes are. They're on Bethpage right now. So, yeah, like I said at the top, I think we kept that relatively short by our standards. But before we finish up, Lewis, you've just written something at the bottom, quiz.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that means you have a quiz.
There's a quiz, is there?
Don't worry. I'll come up with it now. It's fine.
All
Yes,
right,
I
okay.
have a quiz.
Okay.
Yes. I've
Bring
been
it on.
Sitting.
I'm
scrolling.
Are we playing with each other?
Yeah,
or
you're a
against?
team here. So you know on the yeah.
I've got you, James.
Yeah, I know you do.
But you need to agree on the.
This
the
is
answer before
this
you
is
give
the
it.
quiz master over here.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's like the chase, but we've actually got the chaser sitting at our desk here in the team.
If it was like
You've
the
both
chase,
made it
I would be
through.
sitting at home.
Unable
to go.
Oh god, that's a story for another time, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
I
tough.
have
Thanks,
devised.
Sadie.
Well, look, Luke Donald has picked his 12 men, so's Keegan Bradley. I have
Okay.
also picked 12 men, ragtag bunch of individuals. Some of these men have played the Ryder Cup, others have not played the Ryder Cup. Your job is to tell me in this game of Cup or No Cup
Cup or no cup?
whether this
Very
man
good.
has played
That's amazing.
in the Ryder Cup. So
Right.
we've got 12.
Done.
Right, Donald.
Nah,
Oh,
I've kept
I
it
know.
fairly recent. I've
Bobby
kept it-
Jones.
Okay.
Right, start with what I think is quite an easy one. Andy Sullivan.
Yeah, he played 2016 on the losing side at Hazeltine. I'll give you all the info you want.
Cup. Yeah, absolutely. All the info
Cup.
is Cup. Well done.
Cup.
Thanks, James.
There's an echo
Cup.
in here.
Cup.
Jean van de Velde.
Cup,
Cup.
1999.
Well done. Yeah. Good. It's easier. I promise it gets harder as we go on, maybe. Number
see.
3, Kevin Kisner.
No cup.
You're right. He was President's Cup, I'm sure. I'm going to say
Yeah,
no
he's
cup.
no cup.
Well done. No cup. 3 out of 3. Doing well. Soren Kjeldsen.
No cup.
Correct. 4 out of 4. Soren.
Good guy, by the way. I like
Yeah,
Soren.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And a
Best
short game that
Best
should
short game I've ever
absolutely be in the
seen.
Ryder Cup.
Unbelievable.
If he's your foursomes partner, happy days.
I did a feature with him at the Dunhill Links, and obviously it's like hitting off this table.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Can you like show us a flop shot there?"
The
And
tightest of
honestly, like,
lies.
just plays his wedge like 100
Yeah.
degrees full swing. Like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Decent.
yeah,
Yeah.
decent. Thanks for that. Right, Soren Hansen.
Soren Hansen did. He played
Yeah.
in 2008.
Well done. Very good.
We're nailing this.
Yeah. I'm
Team's
actually
doing
quite
well.
good at this. For once.
Right,
Just yes or no. That's why.
Gary Woodland.
Yes.
Cup.
No cup.
No cup.
No
Gary
cup.
Woodland. No cup. I'm gonna verify this because you said it so, but you've gone straight in. Record out the window.
2021, surely.
I thought he was. Yeah. I'm sure Gary Woodland's been.
Was he not in the team that played at Whistling Straits?
I don't believe
Stewart
he
and
was.
Query.
Yeah, go on.
VAR.
Stewart, yeah.
Yeah.
Draw the lines.
Yeah. You're making me doubt myself here, but I did look into this.
Shit. 2019 was President's Cup.
Yeah. And he was vice captain in 2021, I believe.
That'll be what we're thinking.
100%
In fact, no, he's
record
vice
gone.
captain this time round. He might have been vice
There you
captain
go.
previously, but
All
yeah.
right. Got
First
too cocky
stumbling
too
block.
soon.
Ah, bollocks.
Yeah.
I find that quite surprising, actually.
That's why he's in, because it is a surprise.
Yeah.
US Open champion. But
God,
unfortunately
that's
for you, no
sometimes
cup.
seems quite
The
thin,
clean
honestly.
sweep is gone. Next
Damn.
up, Andrew Coulthard.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He played in 99.
Well done. Yeah.
Played Tiger Woods in 99.
We'll continue the broadcasting theme here. Brad Faxon.
Oh,
Ooh.
now that is a good one.
Brad
Fax
Faxon.
didn't win a major.
Brad Faxon. I'm looking.
Brad Faxon.
I'm gonna
My
say-
instincts, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm just thinking because he's an insanely good putter. Surely you would see highlights of that every single year of him holding like ridiculous putts, but I just don't see it. And I'm going through my
trying
head.
to picture him playing in it, and I can't.
I'm
So
going through all the stupid clothes that they're wearing in the past as well, and I just can't. I'm going to say no.
no cup.
No cup. You are incorrect. He actually played
Oh.
twice.
What?
1995 and 1997.
Ah,
Hate to break it to you.
bullshit.
There we go. Second one that stumbled.
I was 8.
It's Americans.
Yeah, it's
Americans, yeah.
yeah, who
no,
cares?
Right, we're back in home soil
a
with
bunch
this
of
man.
losers.
Gregory Havre.
No
Ooh.
cup.
Oh.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
I'll save you the hassle. No.
No, correct. No cup. Back across the Americans. Kenny Perry.
Definitely
Cup.
played. I remember him in 2008.
Yeah,
Valhalla.
correct. You played 2004 as well. Right. Oliver Wilson.
Yes,
Yeah.
2008. I only know that because he told me in an interview afterwards that
Oh,
he felt
well,
like
you
Nick Faldo didn't know him, didn't have a clue who he was.
Oh, that's not good. Is
Oh,
it?
wow.
Whoops.
Oh, you hit it first.
Who are you? Oh, I picked you. Right. Cool. Yeah. Oh, did he qualify
I
automatically?
think he did,
Right.
yeah.
And Nick didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
That's
because Nick's picks were, well, Justin Rose might have been one of
Hmm.
them. I remember there was controversy because Monty didn't get in.
Yeah. Oh,
But
dear.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
All right, one more to do. You've done well. You've got 2
Thanks.
wrong, and I know you'll get this. Michael John Daly.
no, he's
No-
no cup.
Correct.
He is the only eligible multiple major champion. He's the only multiple major winner from either the US or Europe who hasn't played in the match.
correct. Remarkable
Why-
that, isn't
why,
it?
Why is that?
Well, 1991, he won the PGA, but as like the 9th alternate,
Mhm.
so was never going
Right.
to get in.
Yeah.
Hadn't done enough to qualify and wasn't going to get in. And then 1995,
He
won
won.
the Open.
Yeah, and St.
And
Andrews.
I still think he didn't do enough there. 95, who would have gotten ahead of him? Oh, Brad Faxon, probably.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
yeah,
it must have been.
yeah.
There you go.
But
Oh.
95, the Americans had quite a good year, did they not? So
Yes.
Daly just missed out.
Uh huh. You have it.
Oh, tough.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Cup or no cup? 10 out of 12. Pretty good. You
Decent.
did well there. Yeah, decent.
Not
So
bad. I actually knew stuff too.
Yeah, you
For a
did.
change.
I thought you were going to go down the line of guys like Dan Pole and
Thought I'd, you know, give you a chance. That you
John
did pretty
Gallagher
well.
Jr. and
Thought I'd try
Jim
and-
Gallagher Jr. even.
Yeah, but then famously, there was snubs there and not snubs. So thought Gary Woodland thought was quite an interesting.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely
hadn't-
threw me with that.
yeah.
Per
And then,
Ulrich Johansson.
yes.
I remember him.
Yeah.
With the he had the crazy glasses and the kind of backwards hat.
No, that the crazy glasses.
Oh, that's Jarmo.
You're getting
Sorry.
two people, and then
Yeah.
you're thinking of Jesper Parnavik with
Yeah.
the hat.
Jesper Parnavik had
Two-
the flip.
Two
Did
other
Per-
Scandinavians motion to one.
not have like the backwards kind of flat cap.
Oh, maybe he did at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
but
that's what-
I remember him for his blonde spiky hair.
Oh shit! I remember
Yeah.
that was awful.
Yeah.
He was Eminem before Eminem was Eminem.
So there we go.
We're like,
Well
Thanks,
done.
Lewis. That was
That's
good.
all right, yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun.
decent.
I enjoyed
Hopefully
that.
people were able to play along at home and get the answers in before you guys were buzzing in straight away.
If you
but I
got
think
12 out
that's
of 12, let us
Yeah,
know. I
fair
don't believe
play if
you,
got
but
12
that's
out of
fine.
12.
Yeah.
I want to see your, actually, you know what? I've seen some of our listeners and I don't want to see your browsing history for verification. So, yeah, thanks, Lewis.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you both for your time
Thank
on
you.
this
Thank you.
slightly unusual episode of the Bunkered podcast.
Mhm.
If there's anything you want us to discuss on upcoming shows, please do get in touch. If you'd like to have a shot at Bear Lies, again, slip into our DMs and we'll hook you up with that. But yeah, it is, let me see, 24 days now until the opening shots of the latest Ryder Cup, 2025 Ryder Cup. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be close. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be angry. It's going to be loud, but it's going to be utterly brilliant. So much more to discuss in the coming weeks. Lewis, thanks for your time. Glad you
Thanks,
enjoyed
Michael.
Turnberry. And James, once again, well done.
Thank you very
champ.
much. Cheers.
Loving these trophies. The ring, not so much. All eyes on Colorado for you. Thank you, Callaway, for your continued support of the podcast. Doesn't go unnoticed. It's certainly appreciated. And thank you to you for listening or watching, or both, as the case may be. We'll be back again at this time next week. Until then, bye bye for now.